I have now hit the record button, and I'm now going to say, yo, what up? Back at it again.
Yeah, another month worthwhile.
Yeah. Your previous one hasn't even come out at time of recording. It's the last video that I have to be pushed.
Yeah, but it's worth it being in the Patreon to do deck talk.
Yeah. Old dogs, new tricks. We have. I mean, you're a big Soul Calibur fan, huh?
Yes, like I said last time, I'm big Soul Calibur. I actually played the original Soul Edge in a bowling alley arcade game, and it
Whoa,
got me hooked.
that's awesome. That's very, very cool. Well, we have Ivy here, a character that I'm really, really familiar with. I got second place with Ivy back in her prime, back in her heyday, to win half a case from Rochester CCG on Tabletop Simulator. His deck's very cool. His character's very, very cool. His character cheats for sure. So let's look at her inside of this new world. Give me your pitch. What's going on with Ivy?
Well, as we here in Jacksonville, we started doing a last event of the month is a alternates format.
Mm-hmm.
We just recently did MHA Spotlight, and our next one coming up at the end of June is Old Dogs New Quirks.
Mm-hmm.
And you and I both appreciate a good throw deck.
Yes. Love throws. Those
And
are cool.
and my local game store had some clearance Soul Calibur packs. Me and Paul bought some
Yeah.
cards, and Ivy was one of the characters I picked up. I just put it away because I like her as a character in the game. And then we announced this, and I was looking through. I have Astroth, Ivy, and Nightmare. I don't want to do a Nightmare, so I picked Ivy. And she can do her enhance and responses on throws.
Yeah. It's pretty good. As long as it has 2 or less keywords, right? Is that the 2 or fewer? Gain 2 health and draw a card, which is pretty incredible. Yeah. Okay, so let's take a look at some of the cool things that we're missing, right? Obviously, we're gonna do standard, no Godzilla stuff, because we're gonna play it at the end of June. Actually, at the end of June.
Yeah, it should be.
Yeah, I mean, we
June
can,
29th.
right? Yeah. So I guess.
And that's why I brought it to you. Is like I had this set pre-girl power, so I don't even have girl power stuff in there either.
Well, I mean, multiple bites is pretty good. If you've removed a card this turn using her ability, remove the top card of your deck. You may, reveal the top card of your deck. You remove the revealed card. If you do, top card of your discard pile on top of your deck. So if you have an attack on the top of your discard pile, you just remove the top card, put the attack, use multiple bites, and then redraw it. And that is what I was doing with the character. It was like I was just like guaranteeing my checks, playing a bunch of 6 checks, just guarantee my checks. See that I had a thing, and then off to the races.
Yeah, and the as you can see, like the skeleton of the deck is a younger Tagora all throw deck.
Yeah.
Kind of like because I thought knee smash was kind of a thing that you could get away with.
Yeah. I mean, I think knee smash is neat, right? Build the top card of your discard pile. If it's a foundation, build it. Yeah. So you build one, and then if the top card's an action, or an attack, you draw a card. It's cool. I think that multiple bites is better just because it's a little faster. It does have a different block zone though, if that matters to you. But they do.
Like I said, this is up to interpretation. I'm taking any suggestions.
Yeah. But I do think like having an idea like that is very, very good. So one of my absolute favorite things when it comes to Ivy is the fact of like she's so incredibly good on defense. She's so absolutely nuts on defense because you just get to stack your checks. You get to pay 1 health, reveal the top card of your deck, see that it's a 5, and then be chill with it. Like she's so good.
Yeah, and that's what kind of drew me to it, because upon Yu Hakusho release during the sneak peeks, which I played 2 of, I won both of them with Genkai, and I rolled with that deck.
Yeah.
And then some things got changed. But like, I like that fact when I went to Worlds and got the preview playing against Shane.
Yeah.
He was like, "Yeah, you never check bad."
Correct. Yeah, you just don't check bad as long as you can smack them. I know in the OG Ivy list that I played, and obviously like formats are different. I got to play the big shots, and you certainly don't get to play that card. That card's so good it got banned in retro. It was an action that essentially just gave +3 speed or +3 damage to every move. You got to do that up to 4 times a game. And so like there were 2 of them, one that gave 3 speed, one that gave 3 damage, or plus or minus 3 speed, 3 damage. But I was not playing any throws in that deck at all.
Here's something I changed on my Tagore list versus yours. What are your thoughts on Cat Punch? Because either it deals damage, you draw a card, or you block it, it draws a card.
With her, I don't hate it. It's actually pretty good. I mean, it's a 6 damage move, right? Like, it's pretty okay. It's the mid, and it works both ways. Yeah. It's probably. I mean, so here's the deal, right? Like, when it comes to these draw cards on face, you get to double down that you are indeed hitting, right? Like, this is either. So you ready? This is a 1 or 0 draw, or sorry, 1 or 2 draw. Either you draw the card because you draw the card, or you draw the card and you hit them to draw a card. When it comes to Cat Punch, it is a 1 or 1 draw.
Oh,
right.
Yeah,
if it's blocked, draw 1. If it's blocked, draw 1. Or if it's not blocked, draw 1. Right. So yeah, go ahead.
I think the difference with Ivy versus Young and Tagoro is I could lead off with Cat Punch. If they block it, I draw and then I build it. So
Sure.
that's why I probably favored it more in that deck.
Yeah, I totally agree. And like if it isn't blocked, it was 6 damage, and you still got to build the resource back in, right? In him, I don't know if I like it as much as in her, but I think that, like, even just like these 45% power, right? Well, it's 4 more foundations. This is 2. I mean, it's a 4 high for 4. This is fine. This is a fine move to open up with. This is okay. Same thing. Like there's an idea where instead of like the throw package, which I think is totally chill, totally doable, right? That's okay. Having things like multiple bites, lizard tail splitter, 45% power, Cat Punch that say every move is going to draw me 2 cards, and just leverage this hand size is so good. And you get to pick what's on top of your deck, right? You get to pick. If I checked a 5. I know I'm gonna check well, which makes things like double Spirit Blast incredible, right? You just get to pay if you check a 5 on double Spirit Blast, you check a 5 on the Echo. You can't check a 3 on it, right? And then you can't check a 3 on the True 100% Unleashed. It's like this card always checks a 6, right?
Yeah, it makes sense. That's why I was like gravitating to her.
Genkai's Spirit Gun says if it's not completely blocked, add a card from the top of your discard pile to your deck, and then she has the same Genkai idea of if it hits, I draw a card. And so like this is like a neat way to just like this card says draw an attack with your character. It's a 6 mid for 5 with powerful 3. Yeah, you can't change the zone, but that's okay. What I'm saying is I think this character is so cool that you do not necessarily have to do the throw idea. I think the throw idea is very cool. If we're going to keep this exact attack lineup, the one bad card that I see is just Knee Smash. I think Knee Smash is not very good.
I'm on the same page. It was one of those like gimmicky, funny things. Like if I want to see a particular foundation, that's what I would have it for.
Also, let's look at our block zones. We're here, I guess, when I put Knee Smash back to a 4 of, right? What's our high blocks? Energy Absorption. All these other ones, all these other draw cards are all mid. And so it might be of like, because I'm also like I'm not a huge fan of like 4X Nebula Stare.
Yeah.
It's actually a card that I took out in the Throw Tagoro deck. I think I put it down to like either a 1 or a 2 of.
Yeah.
And like things like Searching Crystal Darts actually gets to kill them. Things like Lizard Tail Splitter, like this is on offense as good as Twisting Azure Inferno for stuffing their card pool, which is essentially -1 to all their checks.
Gotcha.
And so like here's Twisting with a Deadlock Echo. And so like it's more deadlock pressure because this card's deadlock is crazy. More deadlock pressure that you get to just selectively draw the card you want with Ivy.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Especially whenever we have pitching in. Pitching in is insane in this deck because you just take whatever you want, put it on top of your discard pile, and then put it on top of your deck, and then you just get to draw it straight away. And then we don't care if we hit with Ivy or not.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, I Lizard Tail Splitter for sure goes in the deck just because it's the low block, and I think the Deadlock Echo is very cool. And it also wears things like Revel really well. It wears things like Carbo Loading really well. I think Carbo Loading is supposed to be a 4 of in this deck, actually.
Gotcha.
Because of how much health we're going to be gaining.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah. I guess like we just have to figure out like, is the high block on Knee Smash worth it, or are you down for it to be a mid block?
I'm open, to be honest.
Okay. Hold on. Let's look at our stats here and see. Oh, it doesn't have to be a high block. Yeah, let's kill the Knee Smash. And I think, it's either multiple bites and this move hits a little harder, or it's 45% power and it's a high attack. What's our attack zone look like? Low, low, high, mid.
I do like the 45 over multiple bites just because it's guaranteed and you don't have to really do anything for multiple bites.
Sure. Then you do have to remove a card. It does say this turn, not this attack. So like you could remove one previously and then make sure you stack and then play this second on the 5 that you know you're gonna hit and then draw the card. But I get what you're saying. Just opening with 45 makes sense. I love it. I dig it. It's the 4 of there. We refresh. Back up to 21 attacks. I think that's fine. Now on to foundations. Are there any actions assets that we could potentially want to play?
All is like you got sugar, you got the obvious airy smiles, but nothing new, I think.
So I think interdimensional plants is pretty good, right? It says discard a momentum. Your attack gets 3 damage, gain a health. And destroy a foundation, draw a card. Your next check to play a card gets +1. So what this does is 2 things. Whenever you want an attack on top of your discard pile to stack, you just add it with the discard the momentum ability, right? And you can do it on their turn as well, right? I'll discard on their attack. Your attack will get 3 damage. We don't care. You gain a health. All right, I'll stack, and then their 2 keyword card or less will hit me. I will gain 2 and then draw a card. Because that's the cool thing about Ivy is she says after an attack with 2 or fewer keywords deals damage and then draw a card. She does both. It's not just your attacks; it's their attacks too.
Yeah, that's what I noticed as well. It's just like Genkai if an attack deals damage.
Yeah. But it still has to be the 2 or fewer keywords for everybody at home.
Yeah.
And so like this stacks an attack. Or commit destroy foundation, you've now stacked a 6 check, right? You've now stacked a where is it? Pitching in, right? You've stacked this in your discard pile. Now you're gonna check a 6 on it because you used Ivy. And you got +1 to your checks. So you're actually checking a 7 whenever you interdimensional plants. I think this card's very cool.
Gotcha.
I am here. That's probably enough. Just the interdimensional plants. Yeah.
And it's a high block as well.
It is a high block. Okay. I do this. And then let's take and look at the foundations now, and let's see what we could have potentially left on the cutting room floor. First off, zeros. So whenever I played this deck, it was all about 6 checks. It's all I wanted to do was 6 check, 6 check, 6 check, and there were way more relevant 6 checks than we had access to. But and like Spirit Beast Pooh was like very cool. I don't know. There's ideas of just like making it a big 6 check deck. This card is interesting. Any card that says mill on both turns says that you get to capitalize more on the top card of your discard pile. Especially if you get like mill 4, you get to pick the order that the discard pile ends up in. So you get to pick what the card is that you want to stack on top, which is something. I don't know if abrupt drop is the card to pick, but there's something there.
That's why I put Revel in.
This card is kind of cool. Enhance flip and name a card type. Reveal the top card of your deck if it matches. I mean, you're putting it there. You know if this if it works or not. I'll pay 1 health for +2 damage. That seems kind of cool.
-2.
Well, pay 1 health for -1 doesn't make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
After 1,000 faces, if we've discarded, selling all death makes total sense. Your character only works twice each, right? So there's an idea where maybe we're supposed to play like 1 or 2 copies of Resting Up. Yeah, Motherly Affection seems really cool in the deck. I don't know. Maybe not. Dragon Power. Glamour. Hatsume's Design. Trusted Assistant. Polite and Well Spoken is huge, right?
Yeah, because you can remove it if you with Ivy.
Yeah, it's a 6 check that like I don't think it's more than like a 2 of, right? But it's a 6 check that you want to stack on top. You're down to remove it with Ivy, like that's okay. Reveal the top card of your deck. You may remove the revealed card if you do. Take the top of your discard pile, put it on top of your deck. Yeah, you're like down to remove this and stack an attack, draw the attack, or you're down to just leave it there, right? Like there's plenty of times where like, hey, I will leave this card on top and then be fine just checking the 6. Daunting Message, I love that that's here. This card's pretty cool. Chivalrous.
Not sure why I did that.
Chivalrous is a pretty good card. Celebrity Status. Add 1 card with a check value of 6 from your discard pile to your hand. There's an idea where you play 1 of this because it just lets you go pick up a mid block, a 2 mid. I don't think you necessarily need it though.
If we ran the Ryuku Foundation, we could pick up a 1 high block.
Oh, yeah. We are also running that. Yeah. Wow, the life symbol gets, or the all symbol gets access to both. I guess the life symbol. Actually, the life symbol is cracked with this card, right? You could pick up. Wowzers. A gift returned is kind of silly. Okay. I don't think it's running here, but I think there's an idea. There's definitely an idea where you like run enough 6 checks, just like in your defensive deck, that like this just works. It's pretty good. If you check a copy of this card you're trying to play, no. This card is not bad. I think it's more sideboard than anything. After your attack is blocked, flip 1 over Foundation. This card beats Keiko's Aid. This card is discarded. We don't care about that. Keiko support. Perseverance at a 1 of. That makes sense to me. True Identity. The Big Fall. I'm such an always cool fan, but like moves get so big. I just don't want to die. I never want to die to Armor of the Wolf. But I mean, you're playing it old dogs, so I don't know how relevant always cool will be. Vast Strength. Same thing with defending Pageant Queen. I think the All-Symbol's got just a lot of really good defensive stuff going on.
We do have what the symbol is, right? Yeah. So we can even run the Vulcan quite well spoken in that as well.
Yeah, that makes sense. Pass through walls is another 6 that we get to play if we wanted to. Because Cape is like a silly card, and that's like a 1-card answer to it. Talented Baker. As soon as you draw a card, all your moves get a speed. It doesn't necessarily matter with the throw aspect of the deck, but if you like changed it to this other aspect of like, I'm gonna play just like, I'm gonna draw a trillion cards, and make all of my checks happen, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Mid-match successful sales pitch. I think Revel needs to be at a more of than it is, just because I think your deck is missing damage. Part of the reason that that this idea worked with younger Toguro so well is because on turn 2, turn 3, pre-errata, he was making his Nebula Stairs for 8 damage, right?
Yeah. That makes more sense.
8 damage, 8 damage, 8 damage, and these are 4, 4, 4. If all 3 of these get partial blocked, they took 6. So you played 3 attacks to do 6 damage off the partial. It's just like these are very fair throws. Yeah, you drew a card and gained 2 health, but like, what's actually happening here?
Yeah.
Which is why, like, if this month this doesn't work and you want to play Ivy again, you should look at like these as ideas because they also just work for the deck.
Gotcha.
Evade Copy is a messed up card. Yeah, I don't think that you're missing anything per se, right? I think that you've actually got everything pretty locked in. Yeah, so let's I think Dimensional Plants, it has to go in. I could even honestly say it could be a 2 of. Just because I really like what this thing's got going on. I mean, this is where we find our damage, right? This and Carbo loading.
And Revel as well, if we're putting in more.
Yeah, I think that we should take Carbo loading and toss it up to the 4 of, and we're going to cut Invincible Body, and we're going to put it in the sideboard, because it's way cooler for a format like this to make sure that your deck is doing the thing that you want it to do, rather than, like, stopping your rival from doing the thing that they want to do. You know?
Yeah. Gotcha.
For Revel, I think it's a 2 of. That's how I feel about it. Oh, we missed 3 diffs, and this is... Oh, not 23 diffs, 3 diffs. One of my absolute favorite cards that you can play is Leaving the Bebop. This card was pinnacle inside of the younger Toguro deck. But now we have things like A Son's Love, which is crazy. And maybe I play all younger Toguro tomorrow for locals. This is actually sounding kind of fun. Without a Vision, I don't think we need this one. We don't need that one. It's my favorite card that they put in Girl Power. I think it's officially that one, but like, we don't need it. Okay. Let's look at difficulty real fast. So this is the only one here. I like What's a Symbol. How do you feel about Hacker?
It could be side piece for assets.
I'm also down to just make it the 1 of. It's like got the same value as like Vast Strength, of like this one time, like we want to see it, but like it's okay. Yeah. Revel, Unexpected Hero is a low block. Let's check our block zones. What cool low blocks did we do? I mean, Resting Up and then Chivalrous. Unexpected Hero is another way for us to get damage on our throws. So I mean, it makes sense. It
but
just
we can reduce it for more draw power.
Yeah.
And it's, I thought Chivalrous was in there.
When it comes to low blocks, look at our difficulties again. We could also just cut the You're Finished for it. Having the 6 is probably fine. Especially because we're hacking our own checks and we're not checking 3s. We're just not. Yeah, I'm down to cut this, and we get to play a little less spam.
I think the other
less
thing
zeros.
With your finish was you can kind of hack your discard to draw more.
Well, the thing is, is so in order for that to work, it would have to be the attack that I've played is the second card on the bottom from my discard pile.
Oh well, what am I
Or
talking
from
about?
the
We can
top.
do that with pitching in,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. You can do it with pitching in, but
So,
we can just draw the card with Ivy with pitching in, like they're the same card.
yeah.
Unless that's what you were just saying.
Yeah, it's just pitching in, you're finished. But yeah,
Love it.
just a guaranteed foundation protection and just a draw is better than that.
Yeah. Didn't change this number at all. What does this number look like to you?
60 to 65 is where my norm is.
Okay, I'm gonna increase it by 1 because I think. Oh, I guess not. So the things we're leaving on the table. Leaving the bebop, which is pretty good, even at just a 1 of. Polite and well spoken. I know that we said this is like a cool idea. A Sun's Love is surprisingly really scary, especially when we have things like interdimensional plants. Oh, just like, this is an attack card. This just says go find an attack card. Which is not bad.
Playing throws, you have the momentum.
Yeah, correct. This is the, like, I play this at a 3 of in my, a 3 or a 4 of in my younger score deck. Because, like, I need to have attack cards because I know they're going to land. So even, like, just put this at the 1 of, let it rock. 66 with the amount of cards that you're going to draw, not just on, like, things like 45 and Lizard Tail, but things like Ivy herself. You're going to rip through your deck very, very fast. Thoughts?
Yeah, I'm good. As long as the new attacks go with inside of Ivy's kit, I didn't really see Tail Splitter if it had 2 or more or fewer.
Yeah, it's got Echo and ranged.
Yeah, that's perfect then.
Yeah. All right, buddy. Well, good luck with your event. Old dogs, new tricks. A thing that, again, I'm excited to experiment with some more retro style content. I think there's definitely a place for it.
Yeah. I mean, they're starting to support it a little bit more at higher tier events if people travel, so why not?
Yeah, agreed fully. All right, stay on the line long enough for me to shoot you the list, and you have a grister night, okay?
You too. Thank you.
See you, buddy.